Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Good evening and welcome. How are you doing? If you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. All right, thank you. So, how was yesterday's class, man? Let me know what you learned. How was yesterday's class? Let me know what you learned. I think I came in, spoke about a few things, and told you to cover. So, what did you gain from like what we said yesterday? I think there's like an assessment given, an exercise given to be done. Okay, so were you able to do the assignment? How many of us did the assignment? So what are the various things that a good marketer must put in place, Shadrach? Okay, right, that some people did, some people attempted. That's nice, that's nice. So today we'll be going into something very interesting. All right. So we are going to talking about analytics, and this class is going to be a bit more complex than the usual. So just brace up. So what are we talking about when we're talking about analytics? So we've spoken about things that you should watch out for. Like, okay, you have to know when something is working and when something is not working. So now it comes down to like, okay, how do you track these things? How do you know when if the product is having an issue, or which aspect of the product is having an issue, or which aspect of your marketing is having an issue, or which aspect of your marketing is even delivering good results or is winning for you? So those are things that you have to know. Um, so why does analytics matter? First of all, before I even go to like why does analytics matter and like things about analytics, what do we understand about analytics? What do we think analytics is in general? Like what would be the textbook definition of analytics? What would we say is analytics? Hope we are following. Yes, think analytics help track performance. I think means processing and interpreting a subject matter. Um, Analytics are parameters used to appraise the website. Analytics helps the progress of our marketing campaign, the number of engagements and traffic. All right, thank you very much. I think we're all getting the idea one way or the other. I just with analyzing the in order to get analyze in order to get performance. So basically, what analytics is the process of collecting, measuring, analyzing, and interpreting data to gain insights and make better decisions. Okay. So I was saying, so analyzing analytics is the process of collecting, measuring, and analyzing data and interpreting the data. And the major aim for this is to help you get make better decisions. So it's process of collecting, measuring, and so now why analytics matter? Why does analytics matter for we marketers? So why does analytics matter for we marketers? As a digital marketer, why should you be able to analyze things? Why should you be able to work with different analytic tools that are going to actually okay, we're going to actually go into one major one today. And but first of all, why is it important? Analytics helps marketers understand what's working and what's not. And that's what I explained at the start of the class. Like you have to know what is working, you have to know what is not working. You have to know if your marketing campaigns are working. You have to know if your marketing campaigns are not working. Yes. So it helps you to like okay, understand what's working. Like we've mentioned in the definition. First of all, you collect the data. When you collect the data, then you can now measure and it's like, okay, what is this one giving you? What results is this other campaign giving you? Or where is this result failing? Or where is this result having an issue? Then then you move into analyzing the data. Okay, now that you've seen like okay, one these are the results that it's getting. Which one is more than the other? Which one is less than the other? Which one is giving you a result that it should not be giving you? So you now use that data to actually make better decisions. So that is what analytics is about. So it tells the story behind your numbers, who is visiting, from where, why they stay, why they leave. So think of like analytics like a mirror that reflects how people behave on your website or your app. Because that's what we're basically talking about today. We're mostly talking about your website or your app. So now it's going to tell you who visited your platform. It's going to tell you what did they click on. Did they convert? Did they buy or subscribe or fill a form? So if you're running ads or you're running a campaign without checking your analytics, so it's like you're putting there's this fun analogy that I said like you're putting a billboard in a desert with no clue who saw it or if it worked. How would you know if it worked? You have to think about analytics, and that is what analytics is, and that is why analytics matter. So, data turns marketing from guesswork into strategy. It gives you proof of what's working. So, now would you spend your money on 300,000 naira or let's say 1 million naira? Use it to run ads and you will not check if they performed. Like once you say it's a waste of money. Let's say you get into the tech space now, you get a job, and your boss gives you this money that okay, go and run a campaign, and you're not, and your boss does not come back to meet you like, did this campaign perform? Or even if you are running a business and someone comes to meet you that give me this money, let me help you advertise or market for you. Won't you want to know okay if this thing performed or not? So that is why analytics matters. And like I said today, we'll be focusing mostly on web analytics. And what is web analytics? Web analytics is the process of tracking, analyzing, and interpreting how users interact with your website or your app. And is what I've spoken about already briefly. When people come to your website, what action do they take? Do they click on learn more? Do they buy things? Do they buy things? Do they fill a form? What do they do? So that is where web analytics is coming into now. So you have your website. How do you know what is happening on your website? How do you know if people, first of all, how do you know if people are visiting your website? How do you know if people are converting from visiting your website? So that is what web analytics is. So it helps you understand user behavior
and the performance of your website. So with web analytics, you can actually use the information to improve things that are happening on your website. And that's going to be our major basis for today, your website analytics. So if you have a website, I'd like to know if you have a website. If you've been to a website and you've gone there and you've left immediately, let me know. Or you've gone to a website and like not too long after you've made the decisions that you want to make. Or just think, I want you to just think about it like how would you approach making sure that your website is okay? Lillian has a website. So do you track number of visitors or what do you do? Do you track anything about the website? Can you tell how many people? Also, I think a lot of people usually start blogs these days, and with blogs, it's easier to see when you have followers, when you have people coming into the blog posts. Okay, Liam doesn't check how many people to track the website. I hope after today's class, you will start looking into making sure you're tracking how people check, what people do with your website, how they interact with your website, the numbers you get when people visit, and things like that. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about Google Analytics 4. Google Analytics, first of all, for you to understand, Google Analytics is a free tool by Google that helps you to monitor, analyze, and analyze traffic to your website or your app. So you have to understand that like Google Analytics is very, very important for what we are doing when you are going to a website. Because first of all, it's free. There are a lot of different tools, but this tool is very, very universal. And as I add again, it's a free tool and it actually tracks a whole lot of things that you would want to track when tracking your website. Over the years, Google Analytics has had different versions and variations. um GA4 is the latest version of Google Analytics and it's one that's been universally accepted to date for you to help you track your I mean there are other forms of other versions, but this is like the updated version GA4 and it will help you like see a lot of things that you need to know in your website. So you get to know what is actually working in your website, you get to know what problems you're actually facing in your website, you get to know what people are doing, you get to know how they're interacting with your content, and you also even get to know the kind of people that's visiting your website. So, and I'm going to share. I would love to see if I can. Let me see if I can. Oh, okay. How many of us have heard of Google Analytics before? Before I continue, when you say can you use GA for okay, Google, no, you can't use Google Analytics for Instagram. Google Analytics is for websites, not Instagram. Okay, some people have heard about it. So yes, Google Analytics is a very, very interesting tool. I'm going to actually go into like look into it more. So this is an example of a Google Analytics dashboard. And I think after the class, I'm going to share my screen and just walk us through a few things in Google Analytics. But this is an example of a Google Analytics dashboard. You can see views now. You can see views. You can see users. Views at the amount of time people have come to your site. You can see like the amount of people that are coming to your site. Out of these people that came to your site, which are the users, you can see how many of them are coming to your site for the first time. Yeah. And this is like within a specific period. So this is within a specific period. You can see average engagement time on your site. So will you say this is a good thing or a bad thing? And from this dashboard, you can see that people are coming to your site and spending less than a minute and they are going back. Would you say it's a good thing or a bad thing? The Google Analytics is not on Google Suite. It's not part of the Google Workspace, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, some people say bad. Yeah, you could. But just this is just like a dashboard, and this is just an example of like how Google Analytics is going to look like. This is how Google Analytics looks. When we go after the class, this first class, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to actually just see how that works. Yeah. So what are the key metrics you see in Google Analytics? We've already seen them. The users, those are the unique visitors. The sessions, the number of times people visited your your store, your site. The engagement rates, how much time are they spending with your content? How much time are they spending on your site? Then the bounce rate are users that leave without doing anything. They come on your site and immediately they just go away. And we already know, we've spoken about like how people can just leave your site without doing anything if they don't like it or if there's an issue, or probably they're not even meant for your site in the first place. And then you can also see the conversions, the desired actions that have been completed. If people come and they make a purchase, or they sign up for your app, or they sign up for your platform, or they comment on something, you can actually see. So those are the key metrics you see in Google Analytics for. And these are things that are very, very important for your website. So when you start running campaigns, when you start running ads or doing a lot of marketing efforts, you will be coming to check the websites like, okay, how are things faring in the websites? What is working, what is not working, what are the things that you're doing, what are the things that you're not doing. So this is where it comes to. So the common traffic sources that you see in Google Analytics are like the organic search. So now traffic sources, yeah, we're talking about like, okay, now you know that people are coming to your site, but how would you know where they are coming from? And that's where traffic sources come into play. So you have to know where people are coming from. So are they coming from Google search, which is what we call organic search? Probably they just go and they Google something, and because of what they've Googled, your site is among the 10 lists that comes up, and they go and they click on it. Or are they coming through paid ads? So paid ads could be Google ads, Meta ads, Snapchat ads, Twitter ads, TikTok ads. So for example, now if you click on a site from an ad, it's Google is going to take note of it that, okay, oh, you came from this ad, you came from this ad. So that is paid ads. Wouldn't it be nice to know if your ads are working well? Yeah. Then unique visitors count as both new visitors and returning visitors. New visitors are different. Yes. So users are unique visitors. It combines both new users and returning users. Yeah. Then we're talking about referrals. So link from other sites. So maybe this link to your site was posted in a blog or something like that, in someone else's blog or somewhere else. Is that where they are coming from? You need to know. Direct. Did they type in? Some people just know the URL. You just know like, okay, you want to go and type youtube.com, and you type youtube.com and you get everything that you need. Or is it on social media? Probably on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Is that where they are coming from? And that is where Google Analytics can, one of the things that Google Analytics can help you to know. Google Analytics can help you to figure out where the traffic sources are coming from. Thank you. So this is like an example. Imagine if you've brought out like data from your Google Analytics now. You can see the organic search has like 40%. Yeah. Paid ads has 25%. It's just a scenario. Direct people that type it are 15%, and referrals from other sites are 15%. Social media, probably people are not yet accessing it on social media. Could be one or two reasons. Maybe the brand is not marketing so much on just social media alone. It's using more of paid ads, and they're using more of SEO and SCM to actually um to top the list. So, like I've mentioned, these are things that you can know from Google Analytics, and these are very essential for your website. When you are building your website, when you want to know, once you are working on your website, working on your product, you want to know what is happening within the website. Google Analytics is very, very, very important. It's one of the basic tools that you would need, and will help you excel very well in the field of marketing. So it can also tell you. So Google Analytics can also tell you user behaviors. So it can tell you the most viewed pages, the time spent on the sites, the scroll depth, the button clicks. Google Analytics can tell you everything. So if someone comes to your site, and for example, you know, if someone comes to your site and, for example, you know, like, okay, people are visiting this particular page more. Think about, like, okay, the different pages you have on the site. You have home, you have about, you have learn, maybe you have search, you have search also, and people are always going to search. Google Analytics can let you know search. If it's a blog post that people are going to the most, Google Analytics can help you know which blog post people are going to the most. So Google Analytics can help you in a lot of these things. You must use pages, and we've seen time spent on site from that dashboard. It can let you know if people are coming and they're spending an average of 2 minutes on your site. It can let you know how many times people are clicking on your site, which is important clicks. And if you know all these things, you can now make informed decisions on how to, like, improve things that are happening on your website, how to make changes here and there, and make sure that everything is in order. So let's look at a scenario. So imagine if you are spending 50,000 naira on ads and you're getting 1,000 clicks but no sales. So just take it. Imagine this now: the business you have or the products you are marketing, there are no sales, but you've been spending money on ads and a lot of people have been clicking. So if the issue is landing page experience, now let's say, I feel like you guys would comment. I hope you guys can comment faster so we can move fast. But if the issue is poor landing page experience, how would we know? Would it be from, like, the bounce rates or the engagement on sites? Or what would tell us that would know that, okay, this is probably what the issue is, that the website experience is not good, which is the UI UX? What are the things that we can look out for? Or if it's wrong target audience, if it's the weak messaging, there are a lot of things. So someone said the bounce rate. Yes, I mean, if a lot of people are bouncing back, it could be that, like, the user experience is not good. It could be that the weak messaging is not good. It could be that you're targeting the wrong kind of people. That when they come to your site, they leave immediately. So these are things that, like, we can know, and even we can even know if the issue is even far beyond this on your website. So this is just like common issues that can occur. So website Google Analytics is going to help us to actually investigate a lot of these things. So now you have to look at vanity metrics and actionable metrics. This is something that we'll still touch on more, but for the for this case, vanity metrics are metrics that look good but don't impact results. So you're looking at likes and views. Yes, I mean, views on your website, views on your blog is good, but do they actually impact results? That is one thing to know. So you have to look at actionable metrics which drive growth and decisions, click-throughs, and conversions. So, like, if people are actually clicking, if people are actually purchasing, those are things that you should base your focus on. Not necessarily like, okay, people came and they read this blog post that I put and they liked it. I mean, if that is your goal to grow your blog post, then yes, sure, you can go ahead with that. But if the goal of the company that you're working for, your business, is to make sales, that might not be something that you're really very interested in. You can look at, okay, this particular blog post now is generating a lot of likes. How can I make turn it to generate a lot of conversions? How can I get people to click through it? Or how can I put a button, probably put a button at the beginning or at the end, so that people can click to it and, like, go to purchase your product? Those are things that you should be looking out for. So in as much as Google Analytics is giving you a lot of metrics, you have to focus on key actionable metrics. So if you are following, I hope you are following. Let me just know that you are following. So navigating Google Analytics 4. So these are the sections we're going to explore. So these things we're going to show you. I'm going to show you after I'm done with this slide. I don't want to be sharing my screen and be coming back to the slide. So you're going to see reports, you're going to see acquisition, how users arrive, you're going to see the reports and engagement, what they do, and you can also see conversions if you have set a goal. So I'm going to show us how we can actually see these things in Google Analytics. I'm going to open a demo account, but this is just an example, a dashboard of it. So you go to home, you navigate to the reports, you navigate to the engagement, you navigate to the acquisition part, and you're able to know, okay, this is what is happening on your website. The concept of conversion depends on what your goal is. So whatever goal you are trying to track for, if it's purchase, if it's sign-ups, you can actually track for it in conversion. Yeah. So seems to know, I've explained all of this already. The users, the number of unique visitors, the session, the visits to your websites, the bounce rates, the way people exit after being one page, and the source of medium, which is where traffic comes from. And we're going to even go more into source of medium as to go into the class. So sources can be like, okay, is it the social media? Is it ads? Or is it your email, your newsletters, your blog posts? That is your sources. Then conversion rates, number of people that first. So there are some tools that you can explore. So Google Analytics is a major tool that we are working with. Google Tag Manager syncs to Google Analytics and it helps you just put tags across all your websites and be able to sync your website with other tools. We're not going to go into this tool for this class, but there's another tool that you can try, Microsoft Clarity, and this helps you see like heat map. So Google Analytics is just dashboard, us numbers. With Microsoft Clarity, you can actually see like recording of sessions or heat maps of people working on your site. So you can see how people are actually scrolling and clicking on your website. Wouldn't that be interesting to see? Like, okay, you're just watching as people are using their mouse and they're clicking like on this place on your website, clicking on this place on your website, clicking on this place on your website. That is also something that you can also see. But for the sake of this class, we're going to focus mostly on Google Analytics. So from data to action, so turn insight into action. Data shows most users exit on the mobile. So if your data is showing that like okay, a lot of users are exiting on the mobile phone, what do you do? The next thing is to do is to try and improve the mobile speed and improve the layout. So it could be that okay, the desktop version is working very well, but there's an issue with the mobile version of your website. That data has shown you that a lot of people are bouncing. The bounce rate is high when it comes to mobile phones. What can you do when the bounce rate is high when it comes to mobile phones? Improve your mobile speed, improve the layout of the mobile UI UX of your website. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try and share my screen now and see if I can actually. Okay, are you with me? So this is a Google Analytics account. This is a Google Analytics demo account. Um, Yes, I'm going to practice it immediately after I'm done sharing. So, like I mentioned, this is the active users. You can see active users. You can see the new users on the platform. You can see the event count, which is actually the sessions. Let's say I'm coming here. I want to hold on. Okay, no. Oh, okay. So I want to show us the demo account now. I think this is not the account I wanted to show us for you. Okay, I'm going to zoom in my screen now. I wanted to show us another account. This is not one, but let's just make do with this. So I'm going to leave the cat no longer. Okay, so class, sorry, just give me a second. I'm trying to access like right account now to show us for this session. So just give me like 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah. So this is it. This is the demo account now. So when we are going, I want us to try and check it. So like what we just do when we go for a break, you'll just Google Analytics demo account and I'm going to like just see this thing and just explore it. So the first thing that you're going to do is try and navigate to reports and let's see. So from reports you can see I mentioned three things. I mentioned acquisition and I mentioned engagement. So you can see the acquisition side now. Okay, this is the active users and new users, the engagement time. No, this is still the okay, so acquisition is talking about the users that you bring. So when you come to acquisition, now you look at the users that you bring, look at the new users also. Then the user acquisition part is also here. So like look at it now. We can see direct. Let me see if you are following me because I'm not able to see the comment section. Yeah, Google Analytics demo account. Yeah. So you can also see that remember I mentioned organic search, paid search. So you can see like okay, this is a demo account that Google Analytics created. So you can say like, okay, from direct, these are people that are coming in. This is the number of users, total users. This is the number of new users. This is the number of returning users. If you keep scrolling, you'll see the engagement time, the engaged sessions, the event counts, and user key events. And we can see like from this, you can see that direct is bringing in a lot more users. So it means a lot more people are actually typing in the link. Then after that, organic search. So when people search on Google, they actually get something. Then paid search also. So all the ads are converting, the ads are working. The ads are converting, the ads are working. Referral, so organic social is also the organic shopping is there. So even for emails too, you can also see the stats. So these are things that you can see from Google Analytics. So that's what you can see from the acquisition part. You're looking at the users, you're looking at when the users came. So now let's look at the engagement part. So the engagement parts, you can see the average engagement time per active users. You can see this is 1 minute 25 seconds, which is actually okay. You can see the engagement sessions per active user. You can see the average engagement time per session. So on each time user comes, each session, how long will they stay for each session? Then under engagement, you can still see events. So if you've created an event, for example, now this event is page view. So an event is page view. Like, okay, how many times people actually view the page? Another event is the view item list. So like, okay, there's a particular page called view item list. How many times people actually go and view the item list? So events are specific. Will I say actions? Yes, let me say actions. Events are specific actions or specific actions that you've created on your website. So different things can count as events. You can also check the different pages and different screens. So like what which of the like I mentioned, I think I mentioned when I explained like okay, which of the different pages are people actually coming to? Are people actually checking checkout more? Are people actually going to the apparel item? Are people actually going to search? A lot of times you discover that in almost any website, search actually drives a lot of traffic. People are going to for this one now, like I think the people are going to Canada, people are going to shop for lifestyle, this type of people are going to shop for clearance. So if you have not gotten the hang of it yet, this demo website is for a shopping site, for an e-commerce website. So that's why a lot of things are coming out like this. Then you can also go to monetization. Google Ads can help you, depending on how you set it up. Google Ads can help you check monetization. So you can see the total revenue here, which is $173,000. Purchase revenue $173,000. Total revenue $0.0. You can see the total amount of people that have bought it. This is okay. So I'm going to talk about the comparison. So this is like within 28 days. Number of people that are buying things for the first time on this shopping site in the last 28 days is 761. So let's go back to home now. So let's go back to home. Now we're back. We're back to home. I would like to show us this more something. So now you can see that this is showing us for the last 7 days. This is the active users for the last 7 days. What if we are checking for the last 14 days? You can see the active users and you can see the comparison. This is the percentage increase or decrease. So it's telling you that in the preceding period, in the last 14 days, we had 23,000 active users, but in the 14 days before this, we had way more than that. So we actually dropped by 7.2%. Let's check for a month. On the last 12, in the last, so let's last year. So we're checking for last year now. Last year, that's 2024. So this is how many users we've, it came to 654,000. So these are things that you can actually check from Google Analytics. You can now compare different periods also. So okay, okay. So for those that are lost, let me know where you are lost. So if you have a specific question, let me hear. I know that this would be something that you would need to like come back to again. But let me see. Someone said my screen is not. I think my the screen is visible. Joshua. So Google Analytics is not a demo account. Google Analytics is too fast. Okay, I'm going to try and slow down. All right. So Google Analytics is not a demo account. Google Analytics is a tool for Google Analytics is a tool for actually being able to understand what is happening on our website. I have explained that. So now I'm talking about a demo account. This is a demo account of Google Analytics, and I want all of us to go and try it. So during you can even try it now. Just try it now. Google it if you have it with your system or with your phone. Google Analytics demo account. Google Analytics demo account. There's a link that's going to take you to a support link. Then it is going to take you there. No, so there's no. It's not a paid version. Google Analytics is free. Google Analytics is free, and you just have to connect it to your website. But since we don't have, like, not everyone here has a website that we can connect it to, there is a demo account that we can actually use. So just search Google Analytics. We're going to talk about how you can connect to your website, Shadrach. That'll be later on. But for now, we have to understand how to actually use Google Analytics. Connecting Google Analytics to your website is not a marketer's job, it's more of the developer's job. But we're still going to go through that today. So we want from a certain date to another date. So I'm going to actually show that now. So this is it. If you can see, this is showing last 28 days. If I click on it, I go to custom. Now, once I click on custom, I can actually pick the date I want. Let's say I want to check from like March 1st to March 20th. I can actually check for that. The end date, March 20th. So the end date would be, no, sorry. If this is March 1st, then you come to the end date, March 20th. You can try check for that. You can check for if the end date is March 27th. You can also compare. So you're comparing two dates. You can compare today. You can compare the day before. Did you get that? Let me come and see. No, you cannot use Google Analytics to audit any website you see online. No, you cannot. You cannot use Google Analytics to spy on people's websites. There are actually tools for that. Well, I call it spying, but yeah, there are other tools that you can use to see what is happening on other people's websites, like SEMrush and others. But you cannot use Google Analytics to spy because Google Analytics is showing us the private data that is happening on someone's website. So when you want to connect to, we are going to let me. So connecting it is not going to be a problem if you want to connect it. I'm going to talk about connecting it today. But yeah, so just let me know. Do we still have any other questions? Do you understand what we have done so far? So let me just explain. So if you want to connect Google Analytics um, to your website, there is a code that you will get from Google Analytics, and you will ask whoever built the website or developers of the website to actually install the website with. Fumiola, for your question, you would have to check Bumper. Bumper should have a way for you to actually link it. So you put the code somewhere on Bumper's dashboard. I'm not sure, but ideally, when people create e-commerce stores from us, um, you use that to do it. Yeah. Kairos, I'm using a demo account. Oriola said I should share a personal experience of Google Analytics. I have like a lot of experiences from Google Analytics. I think one thing that was very, very interesting that I think I worked on was I was working for a media firm. I was working for Flutter. I don't think Flutter, you can connect Google Analytics to Flutter. Flutter, you can check, you can ask, just ask those random sites. But when it comes to a website, there's a way to do it. Um, Kairos, there's a Google Analytics demo account that was created by Google Analytics themselves for everyone to use. So just go Google Analytics demo account and you're going to see it's the same thing I open, the same thing you're going to open. So for the question on personal experience, sorry, I got distracted by the other questions that came in. So we're running working for a media tech firm. It's actually quite popular. And we're trying to like okay, see we always use it to see how many people visited our site. So I mean we all know how a media tech news is. So you have like a lot of articles, a lot of news stories coming up on your website, and you want to make sure that people are always coming to visit it and coming back to check it. And one thing that we noticed that was really interesting was that we had a lot of users, which is what you've actually seen, you've noticed in some of these screenshots I've given you. But we had a lot of people returning back to read articles or read stories on the website. We had to like do a lot of changing the UI. I think that was one of my earlier experiences with working on like leading a UI team, a UI and UX team, and like redesigning the whole website flow. We designed the whole home page. We designed how like the news should come up. We designed um how the words should be on the image or the headlines of that particular site. So that was something that I've worked on before. I think I've actually used it for a lot of other things, trying to know, okay, when people sign up or when people fill a form. So you want to know when people sign up from the form. You want to know when people come and how long people are spending on the website now. So now back to the media frame. If people are not spending enough time, it means that people are actually not reading the articles. So could there be a problem with the article? I mean, I'm not the one writing the article, so who knows? I wasn't the one writing the article, who knows? But those are ways that you can actually use Google Analytics. Yeah. So you can use Google Analytics to check the data overall of people that visited the site. You can know where they are coming from. You can know the kind of phones they are using. There's a lot you can do with Google Analytics, but this is the basics. And I am going to be very, very, very blunt with you, very, very blunt with you. A lot of people do, in fact, a lot of marketers you will see out there today are not very technical. They can't use Google Analytics. So I understand why this might be a challenge for like a lot of us not getting it. But if you can calm down and after today, you use tomorrow to like probably come back, rewatch the video, explore Google Analytics more a bit, and just try and see things that you can gather insights. Just like try and be familiarize yourself with it. As time goes, you start to get the hang of it. Yeah, just when you click on demo account, it's going to take you to a support link. Just read through it. There's a link inside that page you're going to click on. I don't think I can send the link here. If not, I would have probably, let me see. Okay, Gift has gotten into the demo account. That's good. Analytics. So the thing is that all analytics have the same concept. They are giving you numbers. They are giving you a lot of details, a lot of dashboards, a lot of data that you can track. So, I mean, it's not the same data you are tracking on a Facebook business page that you are tracking on a website on Google Analytics. No, Google Analytics is not for social media platforms. It's for websites. Google Analytics can tell you if people are coming from your website, from social media to your website, but it won't tell you what is happening on your social media. There are a lot of other tools for that, especially your social media tool itself has its own analytics. Google Analytics has an app, yes, but it's usually optimizable to use the website, the web version of it. Okay, I think the link has been shared to the demo account, so you can just try it out and see if you'll be able to actually get the hang of it during the break. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Yeah, no. Just try. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a whole lot. Yeah, but just try it. All right, so it's time for break. You guys can go on break now. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you in 10 minutes. You guys should just um practice this stuff. So you have 10 minutes to take your attendance and also try and practice this thing. All right. Hi everyone, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So if you're back, let me know that you're back. Like I am back. All right, thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Um, how many of us like tried it out? Okay, some people couldn't get the demo account. You can try again after we are done with the link that I shared. You can ask your colleagues after we're done with the class today. You can try again. So I want to talk about something. I think one thing about marketing is that um yes, you have to register with your email, precious. So one thing about marketing is that you have to be it's not just about being creative, you have to also be technical, and you are going to be working with a lot of tools. And you have to think about some of these tools like okay, we are thinking about social media, you're thinking about Instagram, you're thinking about like Twitter, but there are tools way beyond that, and they might not look fun. They might not look fun, honestly. The first thing that you have to understand, like, okay, the first thing that you have to understand is um is that you should not be scared of these tools. I like telling people that because I've noticed that a lot of people tend to be scared of like a lot of tools that they would want to work with. So you can't be scared of these tools. Yes, they might look complex, but just try your hand at it, and that is the only way that like you would get past like that initial like fear, like oh yeah, this thing is there. Because these tools are not as complex as they seem, and for the sake of this class, we are still doing the basics. Trust me, we are still doing the basics, and it's very very important. That's why I'm going to like just make sure that like we try and understand it. So you have to pay attention first of all. Just pay attention. It might be like very technical, it might sound like it's a whole lot. But the first things first is your mindset. First things first is your mindset. And you have to understand that like doing digital marketing alone, there are going to be some parts that you might not enjoy. Some people enjoy it. I think I enjoy the technical parts and aspects, but you might not enjoy it. But you have to be able to like, okay, open your mind. Like that's the first, open your mind. Like open your mind, don't be scared of these tools. Be willing to try it. Be willing to explore it. A lot of you might not get some of these things today, but trust me, after today, like if you're working like on SEO, you're working on SEM, these are things that you have to probably have to even know, depending on the company you're working with. Some companies might not use Google Analytics. Some companies might use different tools. There are a lot of different tools that they can use, but Google Analytics is one tool that a lot of companies use. And if you can get like the hang of the basics of Google Analytics, you don't have to know every single thing about Google Analytics. Trust me, there are a lot of things in Google Analytics that even a lot of top people can't even do yet. Well, and they don't really need to. But you have to be able to get the basics of it. Like, okay, know what you're searching for, know what you're checking for, know what you're tracking for. So you have to understand like all these things. You have to be willing to open your mind. You have to be willing to be try being comfortable with what you're not comfortable with. So like it might be uncomfortable, but just try and force yourself to like be comfortable in a way. Try to just approach it with an open mindset, and trust me, you're going to get it. So people said I was rushing. I don't think I was rushing today. I think I was trying my best, like just like hit the amount nailed and make sure that we are getting these things. So we're going to do the theory part, yes, but when the time comes, when you go into the market, when you go into the job market, labor market, when you start, probably you have your own company that you are working on, you have your own business, or you have clients, are going to need to understand some of these things. And these are the things that are going to set you apart from a lot of other marketers. Um, that being said, I'm going to continue. Um, I'm going to continue with the class. Yeah. All right. So I'm glad that some of us were able to get demo accounts. Yeah, I know it can look complex, but I just look at the basic things. What were the basic things that we spoke about? So just to do a run through of it, there's a table I had here. So we mentioned the traffic sources. If you remember, we talked about like organic search, we saw it there, right? We talked about paid ads, we saw it there. We talked about direct, we saw it there. We talked about social media, we saw it when we opened the Google Analytics. And if you're checking for your demo accounts, you're going to also see it there. Then these are the key metrics that you see in Google Analytics. So the key metrics are users, sessions, engagement rates, bounce rates. We actually saw some of those things. Conversions. In the case of the GA4 that we opened, the demo account we opened, it was in the case of the demo account we opened, it it was monetization that was there. So monetization was the conversion metric that we were looking at there. So let's move into what we have next. So the key terms to know the users, the number of unique visitors. Yeah, these are just the things you have to understand because these are just the things you're looking for. The session, the visits to your website, the bounce rate, the exits after viewing one page, the source on Medium, that's where the traffic is coming from. Then the conversion rates, like the percent of visitors who take an action. So if it's to make a purchase or to sign up, that is your conversion rate. Let me see before I continue. Do you have any questions? So, if you want to link your Google Analytics account to your website, it's more technical than what as a market what a marketer does. When you want to link your Google Analytics account to your website, you have to collaborate with a developer. So, you are going to go to what we call Google Tag Manager, or even in your Google Analytics, you're going to get a code. You're going to hand the code over to your developer or whoever built your website for you, and then they would link it for you. So that's how you link your Google Analytics to your website. I hope that's clear for those of us that have been asking that question. Yeah. There's no need for me to place the link here, but the other thing, just Google Analytics demo account, you would see it. Okay, someone said what's the difference between Google Analytics and Instagram Analytics? So the difference is that Google Analytics is for websites, Instagram Analytics is for Instagram. So I think that just covers it. So Instagram Analytics, you're just checking like what is happening on Instagram. While Google Analytics, you're checking um, Google Analytics, Instagram Analytics, you're checking what is on Instagram. Google Analytics, you're checking what is on the websites. So that they are serving two different things. I mean, when I say what is the website you created, so if it's the website you created yourself, then it's fine. If you can create the website yourself, then you should be able to like figure out how to like link it. So basically, you just need to get the code. When you go there, it's going to tell you the directions of where you're supposed to paste the code. So you're going to paste the code on the head of some of the pages on your site. So, and this is not a developer class. So, yeah. I'm even like, go ahead with it. It was not a website that Toby asked to build you to build yesterday. It was more of an opt-in page, if I'm correct. That's a different thing based on yesterday's lecture. Yes, so you can actually link your Google Analytics to your WordPress account also. But yeah, it's also going to be a bit more technical. Some people can actually go the code route, and you can also check for plugins. So there are plugins that you can actually use. You can search for um, something. An example be Site Kits by Google. So you can use plugins. If you could build your WordPress site also, you're going to actually move on to that. Yes. Yeah, you just build more of a landing page, not a website that we're talking about in this scenario. Website we're talking about in this scenario is more of like a complete website that has everything and people are making a purchase on the website. So let's talk about tracking events and UTM parameters in the time that we have left. So what we're going to talk about now is like, okay, now that we've seen how Google Analytics can actually track actions on your websites, how can you make the tracking more precise for campaigns that are running? So Google Analytics can tell you that something is coming from Instagram, but Google Analytics, until you let Google Analytics know more information, it will not tell you that it's this particular ad that it is coming from. So Google Analytics has to be able to tell you that okay, this is this particular ad that this is coming from, and you are the one that can let it to know exactly what it is. So learn how to track every click and campaign with precision. Um, so why go beyond page views? So page views alone don't tell the full story. So you need to know who clicked the button. You need to know which campaign drove the sign-ups. You need to know what actions led to a sale. So it's not just about okay, people came and like we said, visited the site. You also have to know if people actually converted. You also know if people actually bought. And you actually want to know where they came from, the people that bought it. So what are events? We've spoken about events. Events are user interactions on the websites. Events are user interactions on the website that can be measured independently from a web page load. So an example is like clicking a button or watching a video or submitting a form. That's an event. Each of those things. So clicking a button, you can decide that clicking a button is an event. Watching a video can be an event. Submitting a form can be an event. So one way to think about it is if your website was a store, for example, now events are like security cameras that capture every customer action picking up. So if the customer goes and picks up an item, that's an event. If the customer goes to check out, that's an event. If the customer decides to leave the store, that's an event. So those are events on your website. So different actions that are taken in your websites are called events. And we have the common events that you can track. You can track things like if it was an e-commerce website, you can track things like add to cart. If you're subscribing for like if it was a subscription service, you can track things like subscribe. You can track things like when you tell people to contact you and they contact you from your website, or they just click the contact us button. Um, you can track You can also track scroll videos. If people play videos, you can track it. You can also track scroll depth. Like sometimes when people come to your website and they don't even scroll to the end page, they just look at it. But you can also track if people are actually scrolling to the whole bottom of the page. Those are things that you can track. Common events that you can track on Google Analytics. So as we're talking about Google Analytics, we're just trying to be more precise now with our targeting. So if you want to set up event tracking, so people asked about this a lot. So if you want to set it up, first of all, like Google Tag Manager is like the best tool to use. So when you go to Google to Tag Manager, you're going to create a custom code that are going to give to developers to use. So Google Tag Manager is going to create a custom code. Then you give the custom code to developers and they put it on your website and like you are good to go. That is just how you set it up. Google Tag Manager, custom code, you go to trigger the events. Then you're going to see like so this diagram here, school tag manager. Then you get the trigger, which is the custom code. Once they've linked it to your analytics dashboard, from analytics dashboard, you can now see the events. So UTM parameters, which is like what's the major thing that we're going to look at today. So UTMs are tags that are added to URLs. We all know what URL is. Your URL is your link. So UTMs are tags that are added to your link to help you track where your traffic is coming from. Um, don't worry. In the example I'm going to keep, you're going to understand it because I know that this will sound vague. So it just helps you know which campaign or which ad or which link sent the visitor or which platform or campaign is performing best. So this is an example of a UTM link. Now, okay, there are two, I have two examples here. So this is an example of a UTM link. So now the URL is example.com/page. See, everything after that question mark is what we call parameters. Is what we call parameters UTM. So now I'm going to try and explain this as easy as it can be. So now if you say like the source is newsletter, the medium is email, the campaign is sale, and the content is button. Yes, you add all this to that link. You now put that link, now that link that you added these things to, you now take it to your newsletter. Let's say the news you want to send out, you want to send the campaign to your email and newsletter. I want to know from that particular email or that particular newsletter how many people actually converted, how many people actually signed up for it. We want to know that. So you create a URL link and you just you create a URL link, you add the UTM parameters, and you put it for that particular campaign on that particular email or particular newsletter or in that particular blog or in that particular ad that you're running, just to be able to track, okay, this is where this particular link brought this amount of users. So you won't use that link in any other campaign. So an example again here is the link here is seller.co, the UTM source is Facebook. The medium is cost per click CPC, which is, or you can say paid ad, and the campaign is cost launch. So this is an example of a UTM link. So let's just do an example. So you guys should name it. Someone should name a campaign. Gift, you can use either Google Floodit or Google Merchandise. Either one would work for you. Um, I was going to say something. So let's think of a campaign. We mentioned an ad in the last class, but that's if you can remember. But I was like, okay, mention a campaign or mention an ad that you want to run. Just mention a campaign or an ad that you want to run to target your product or any product that you think would be interesting. Just type a bit about what's about on the chat box. Yeah, we're going to. That's what I want to explain what we can use TM link for now. So I want us to mention some things that are like really interesting. Some I think we spoke sometime about wig. If you wanted to sell care and you wanted to use Achalugo. So I think that will work. Let's imagine a video now that had Achalugo in the video. The video concept was about Achalugo and trying to convince a lady to come and buy skincare products. What would be the after creating like the name, after writing the website? So I'm going to show us how to create a UTM link. I'm going to show us how to create a UTM link. After adding the website, we're going to add source. Let's say we're posting that video on Facebook. We're going to put the video on Facebook. Let's say we're posting that video on Medium. Let's say we're using an ad, so we're going to say like it's paid ad, and then if it's cost, if the campaign is Achalugo, we're going to put Achalugo. And I think I'm going to show us now. So just for us to understand what UTM parameters cheat sheet are, the UTM source where traffic comes from, for example, Facebook. The medium is the marketing medium used. So I'm using paid ads. CPC is a type of paid ads. Email is also another medium that one can use. The campaign name, the specific campaign name, summer sale, for example, or it can be Achalugo. Um, the paid keyword, term can be optional. The content too can also be optional. Paid keyword is digital marketing. The content is um, if you are trying to test two different creative contents. Let me share my screen now so we can actually try and get the hang of this thing. Yeah, you are going to get the slides. And, yeah. So the first thing you're going to do, just type campaign URL builder on your Google search engine. So type campaign URL builder. Hope you're following me. I'm not seeing the comment section right now. So type campaign URL builder. Then when you type it, the next thing, click on the first link that pops up. So you click on the first links that pop up. So we need a website to actually use to actually build a UTM link on it. So now let's use incubator org. So this is incubator's website, right? DSA Skillup Africa. So let's imagine that you want to do a particular campaign targeted at people trying to get them to sign up for Incubator org. Yeah. So I'm going to take this. I hope you are following. I'm going to take this link. I'm going to copy this link. This is incubator.org.ng. I'm going to copy this link. Then I am going to come back to my URL builder link. I'm going to come back to this link here. So in case you don't get it, you can just watch the replay. So this is it. I'm going to put the website here. Yes, incubator.org now. So now, what is the source? Let's think, where do we want to like run this campaign on? Where do we think a lot of people that will be interested in registering for digital marketing course? Where do you think we would find them? Let's go with Instagram. So try not to put space in your UTM links. Don't use space in your UTM links. So let's say Instagram. We want to put it on Instagram. And a medium could be social. Let's use socials. We can use, if we wanted to run ad, we can use CPC. There are a lot of others that we can use, but since we are going organically, let's just say we want to just put out a video and want to put a link with the video that like okay, people should click the video link when they watch the video. So post social. Then campaign name now. We mentioned Achalugo. I'm trying to get Achalugo to come on. So you can just leave it as this Instagram socials Achalugo. And if you come here, you would see the link, new link you've created, which you can copy. When you copy it now, so I'm going to I've copied the new link we've created as UTM. I'm coming here and I'm putting it here. Can we see? I really hope I'm following. Yes, you can use the phone to use all this. CPC is cost per click. So now, if you can see, like that link, new link I've created, I have used it and it brought me here. Um, Let me see how I can actually. I'll add to this slide so that I want to paste the link here so you can see this is the new link we just created together. We created it together. So you can see this link here now. Yes, you cannot perform it except you have. So you are creating this UTM link. So when you create this link, you can see I can't zoom more than this. I'd have loved to zoom. Let me see if I can actually make it bolder or something. Maybe I make it bigger. It will scatter the whole thing. I hope I'm fine with that. So yeah, you can see this site now. This is the incubator.org slash. Then I remember I said it after this question mark. The source is Instagram. The medium is socials. The campaign name is Achalugo. I hope you are seeing it. So like this is how you create a UTM link. So when you go to Google Analytics back, we don't have access to incubators or Google Analytics. So we can't really tell. We can't really go and see. But when you create this, you go to Google Analytics. You're going to be able to actually see how this is actually working. You're going to be able to see that this is what the site is bringing, this is what the site is not bringing. You're going to see that Achalugo campaign is bringing in so many people to sign up. So that is what you have to like know about this. Then another thing I would like to add, like I mentioned, try to avoid using spaces when you're creating these links, when you're creating this, adding these parameters. You can use dash. Let's say it was a video. You can use Achalugo dash video. When you come, you're going to see Achalugo dash video here. You can use underscore video. When you come, you're going to see underscore video here. Try not to use spaces because space is going to have like it's an if a discrepancy. You can even use it without space. I mean, you can use it without having an underscore. If you want to put underscore, you can put underscore. If you want to put a dash, you can put a dash. So that's how you create UTM links. When you use spaces, it's going to create its own form of discrepancies. And you can even shorten the link. If you feel like the link is too long, you can shorten the link here. There's something called Bitly. So you'd have to like sign into Bitly and shorten the link, but you can also shorten the link. Just click here. I think I'll give you guys that as a take home to figure it out. Yeah. Um, so So back to the slide now. So where you can you put your UTM link? You can put it in your emails. I mean, when you're sending an email, you can put your UTM links there. You can put it inside WhatsApp broadcast message. So if you send a WhatsApp to your group chat, you want to know how many people from that group chat actually clicked and actually visited and actually bought. You can actually do it. You can put it in your social media bios, your Instagram bio. When people say check bio for a link, I mean that's what you mean. You can put it on your paid ads. If you are paying influencers plenty money for them to help you market your campaign, you can give them the link that this is the link that they must use because that is the link you are going to track. Are you with me? Yes. Um. So best practices for UTMs, like I mentioned. So first of all, always use lowercase. Be consistent with the naming so you don't forget or make a mistake. Like I've mentioned, avoid using spaces. Avoid using spaces. Use dash, use underscore, use dash. Shorten the long links with Bitly. So Bitly is a platform for you to use and shorten the link. So you guys should go and figure that out. Go and after you've created a long link, a UTM link, shorten the link. And then when you want to see the UTM results, we can't see any one of any link that we create now because we don't have access to one. But yeah, you go to reports, you go to acquisition, you go to traffic acquisition. That's simply if you remember that acquisition, part acquisition, you're going to see the source, medium, campaign. That is exactly how you're going to see like the UTM links. The major things, if you remember, if you see what I did now, I gave name for source, I gave name for medium, and I gave name for campaign. So those are the three things that you have. There are other optional things that you can add name for. You can assign a parameter for. But source, medium, and campaign are the three main things that you should assign a parameter to. So you're going to be able to see it. I never mentioned anything about campaign ID in this class. I mean campaign name. Stella Morris. So for a scenario now, let's say you are promoting a new webinar. DSA is promoting a new webinar. We created a UTM link for the webinar now. So we're going to send one to Instagram bio, we want to send one to WhatsApp statuses, and I want to send another one to email list. You can create unique UTMs to know which channel brought the most signups. You can use unique, so you have a unique UTM for Instagram bio, you have a unique another different UTM link for WhatsApp status, you have a different UTM link for email list. Then at the back end, when you go to Google Analytics, you're going to check all these different results from these different UTM links. And this is an example. Join our new webinar on Instagram bio. You can see UTM source is equal to Instagram bio. Join our new webinar on WhatsApp status. UTM sources, WhatsApp status, our new webinar for email list, UTM sources, email list. So your take home or your exercise before next class, go and create a UTM tag link. I wanted you guys to do it in the chat, but I don't think you can actually send links to the chat box. But create a UTM tag. Okay, so what you should create for me now? I want you guys to write something. Write the source name, the medium name, and the campaign name in the chat now. Let's see it in the chat. So campaign names can be anything. Campaign names can be anything. What you are calling your campaign, you can call your campaign anything. So I want to see someone type a source name, a medium name, and a campaign name in the chat box in the comment section. Okay, source TikTok, Genevieve. What about medium? Source name, medium, and campaign. So what is the source? What is the medium? What is the campaign? Okay, medium social. Campaign name Ferrari. Interesting name. Source email campaign task medium CPC. Yes, but you can't use so if your medium is CPC, CPC is a paid ads. You don't run paid ads in email. That's like a good naming, but if you are using paid ads, that's when you do CPC. CPC is cost per click. So you run it on social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or Twitter, or Google Ads. So say source name WhatsApp, media name social, campaign name Kolobo. That's interesting. Source name Facebook, medium social, campaign name Zed Writers. Yeah, but you put space and writing me. Campaign name online paste. I'll put Naira P, Instagram, source Instagram, medium, digital marketing. Okay, Instagram, socials, your meetup. Yeah, I like that at your. Yeah, yeah. This is very good. I feel like all of you are already getting the hang of it, which is good. Which is good. So, do you have any question that has not been asked yet so far pertaining um this? Rotimi, you can watch the replay of the class. You can try and find out how to like access um the demo account. So thank you very much. I know the class has been a lot. Yeah, it's understandable because what we are treating is very, very technical and it's like not usual from like it's a bit of a deviation from like what would normally take. But yeah, it's really, really important that we just get the basics of this. So closing early so that you guys can like just go and rest and try and get the hang of these things. So thank you very much for um tuning to the class. To have a great night, everyone. Good night.